All right, here we go. Hi guys, welcome to the channel. If you are new, oh God, we're off to a great start. If you are new here, my name is Alexis. I am 22 years old and I currently live in Japan with my husband, and I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan, hello. So today I thought it would be a good idea to start this channel off by answering some of your guys' questions. I asked you guys on my Instagram to ask me some questions and I got a lot of really good ones, so we're gonna go through those. But if you are not already, please subscribe. This channel will be a lot of Swiftie fashion content, and with the new release of Midnights, it's about to get really fun. And while you're at it, all of my social medias will be linked down below. My Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, your girl's on Swift Talk. But without further ado, let's get into your guys' questions. All right, the first question is, why did you move to Japan? I get this question probably every single day I go on social media, and I am in Japan because my husband is in the military. I moved here about a year and a half ago. Me and my husband are both from Arizona, born and raised, but we are moving back to Arizona very, very soon, so I'm very excited to get home, get back to Target. I miss Target so much. It's absolutely insane. All right, the next question we have is your Swiftie story. I thought this would also be a really good one to start us out. So, okay, where do I start? I grew up with listening to just straight country music. My mom was obsessed with country music, so that's all I basically heard growing up. And my Thea was a huge Taylor Swift fan. So when I was 7, so this was around 2007, I was in my Thea's room and we were just hanging out. And I asked her if she could play the song that goes, "It's late and your mama don't know." And she was like, "Our song?" And I was like, "Yes, that one." And that was my first memory of wanting or listening to a Taylor song. And then I went to my very first concert when I was 11. This was the Speak Now tour in Glendale, Arizona. And then in 2012, I started all of my Swiftie social media accounts. I actually started my YouTube channel before I had even started any of my other accounts. So YouTube was my first Swiftie account, which was kind of funny. Then I went to the Red Tour in 2013, I went to the 1989 tour in 2015, and then I went to the Rep Tour in 2018, and then I had tickets to Loverfest, and obviously we know what happened with that one. So, but yeah, so that's where my Swiftie story kind of started out, and the times that I saw her in concert. But I started out very young. I have my family to thank for that. We're like a family of Swifties. Okay, this next question is a good little segue. Multiple people asked, have you ever met Taylor? And the answer is yes and no. So let me explain. Back in 2014, I and my family went to 1989 Release Week in New York City. This was my first time going to Release Week. I've been to 1989 Release Week and Reputation Release Week, but this was 1989 Release Week, so 2014. We decided to camp out outside of Good Morning America because Taylor was having her interview there on the morning that 1989 released. So we decided to wait outside of Good Morning America and see if she would like come out and say hi or anything like that. And because Taylor is the nicest human being ever, Taylor came outside and took pictures with all of the fans that were waiting outside of Good Morning America. So she did come up to me and grab my phone and take a picture of us. But I didn't really get to talk to her. Obviously, I was just outside of her interview. And so I do have a picture with Taylor. I didn't get to tell her my name. I didn't get to tell her any of like the most important things, but I did get to say, "I love you." She said, "I love you too. Thanks for coming." And then that was it. Yes, I technically did meet Taylor, but it wasn't in the actual meeting way, I guess you would say. I always tell people that I got a picture with her and I didn't like, you know, meet her, because like I didn't be like, "Hi, my name is Alexis, nice to meet you, I love you." So yes and no, but that's the story behind me getting a picture with Taylor. Next question, this is a very important one. Opinion on the Karma album theory. So if you are not familiar with Karma, let me explain. A lot of Swifties in the fandom have this idea that Taylor had a scrapped album that was supposed to come before Reputation, and that album is called Karma. It has like an orange theme, very like, very Reputation vibes. And so a lot of people think that Karma is real and Karma is like the scrapped album that we never got to hear. Personally, I think Karma doesn't exist. The Karma theory is basically what Reputation became. So I don't know why people think that like Karma was existent before Reputation. And if we really want to get into like the nitty-gritty details, when Taylor was accepting an award during the 1989 era, she said that she was going to take a break, and that was even before like the Reputation, you know, inspiration happened. She was already going to take a break, so I really don't think that there was a scrapped album that we were supposed to get in 2016. I really don't think it's real. I know that that's like an unpopular opinion, but that's my opinion on Karma. I really don't think it's real, and I think people that think Karma is real, that entire album theory is literally what Reputation was, and I don't think Reputation would have happened, or something like Reputation would have happened, if that 2016 drama didn't happen. So I don't know, Karma's fake to me. I will stand by that. Next question I thought was really funny. It says, do you tell people you have a Swiftie fashion account? Now I do, just because I'm very proud of it, and it's one of like my favorite things ever, and it has become like such a passion and hobby of mine. But way back in the day when I had my, you know, itty bitty Swiftie accounts back in, you know, 2014, 15, I was like just starting out high school, and I remember being so scared that people from my high school would find my Swiftie fan accounts, because this was also back in the time where like being a fangirl was not popular. Like that was like not trendy. Now I feel like with Harry Styles it's become like a trend again, but back then it was not a trend. So I was like deathly afraid that people from my high school would find my accounts. So that's why this YouTube channel has like none of my old videos, because when I was like 15 or 16 I deleted all of them because I was just embarrassed, I guess, but I wish I kept them on like private or something. Anyway, nowadays I do tell people that I have this account and my Instagram because I'm very proud of them, and my TikTok is something that I'm really proud of. So I definitely do tell people nowadays that I have these accounts, but way back in the day, little itty bitty Swiftie Alexis was not about to let people from high school find out about my fan accounts. All right, next one is, do you have an all-time favorite Taylor song? If you are new here, this is very much needed to know information. My favorite song of all time is Clean from 1989. And if you are new and don't follow me on my other social media accounts, I am obsessed with 1989, okay? I love 1989. 1989 is my favorite album of all time. I just love 1989. The fashion, the aesthetic, the theme, the songs, just everything is me as a human. I am very much 1989, and that's a running joke on my social media pages, is like I'm 1989 reincarnated. So I love 1989. This question kind of goes with what I was just saying. So do you have a story behind why Clean is your favorite song? I don't really have like an in-depth story about it, but when I was in high school, this album came out in 2014, and I was a freshman in high school at the time. And this album literally like so congruently went along with what I was going through in high school. And so I just like formed this really deep attachment to the album and to Clean, the song. But on the bus ride home from my freshman year, I would listen to Clean on repeat and just cry. Full on, like I was in a music video, looking out the window of the bus, just cry. And I don't know, I just formed a really deep attachment to that song and to that album because it so perfectly fit that era of my life. That album really just spoke to me at the time, and Clean was one of the songs that I just really gravitated towards. Next question is, favorite piece of Taylor merch you own and where you got it? This is one of my favorite stories and probably goes along with the other question that I answered, which was your Swiftie story. So in 2014, I was obviously very heavily on Swiftie social media, and this was around the time that Taylor released her third perfume, which was Taylor by Taylor Swift. And back then, Taylor had a Twitter account for her fragrance team to interact with fans, kind of acted like Taylor Nation, and it was called T Swift Fragrance. And they interacted with me a lot on Twitter because I was at the time making YouTube videos, filming reviews about the perfumes and things like that. They ended up reposting one of my YouTube videos that I posted, which was a Taylor by Taylor unboxing. They ended up DMing me saying that they had something really special to send me. And so my 14-year-old self, actually I think I was 13. This happened at the beginning of 2014, so I think I was 13. They DM'd me and asked to send me something, so I was really excited. And in the mail, I got a box of the limited edition perfume, which was Taylor by Taylor Made of Starlight. And in the box, it was signed by Taylor. It was the limited edition box, so when you opened it, it sang Starlight. With that little box, it came with a little note that said like, hey, super fan, like we're sending you 1 out of the 12 signed limited edition boxes for you for being a great fan or whatever. So I was stoked. I was absolutely going insane. So that's probably my favorite thing I ever own. Okay, so the next question I think is really important for me to answer. It says, how has being on social media changed or affected you? I feel like nowadays, like social media obviously is so big, and us as humans from like a psychological perspective just don't have the capacity to absorb this much information, and so it really, I feel like social media is like the #1 factor of why people suffer from anxiety and depression so much nowadays. And I feel like it hasn't changed me per se. I think it affects like different people in a multitude of ways. The bigger my accounts get, the more I find it affects me. And I think that's just because with growth comes more negativity, which I guess just is the way of the internet. So there are some days where the negativity does get me, especially on TikTok. I don't know why people are just really prone to negativity on TikTok, but TikTok is where I find like the most negative comments, and sometimes they affect me, sometimes they don't. It just depends on what kind of day I'm having. I think it's just really important to recognize that everybody on social media and on the internet is editing, posing, and curating what you see. Like this video, for example, I am editing out things that I don't want you to see. I am editing things that I do want you to see. So just keep that in mind when looking at other social media accounts. I think it's just an innate behavior of being on social media. You are very often going to compare yourself to others, and it's really easy because you can see everything someone else is doing. But just keep in mind, social media is curated. You never know what that person is going through. Life is hard and it affects everybody the same way. So just because somebody looks really, really perfect on social media doesn't mean that their life is actually like that. So I just wanted to answer that question just so we are all on the same page about social media, and in case anybody needed a reminder today. Okay, this is the last question I'm gonna answer, and I think it's a perfect way to end this video. Predictions for Midnights. If you live under a rock, Taylor announced her new album, Midnights, that comes out October 21st. So I've been thinking about this a lot, and there are just so many thoughts and opinions and hopes for this album. One, I really hope that it is synth pop. That has been a rumor circulating, and I don't know if it's going to end up being true or not. As I am filming this right now, we have not gotten a first lead single, so we actually like don't know even the genre of this album. Some people are saying rock. I don't really know if she would lean that way. In terms of actual predictions, I think it's definitely gonna have lyrics like Folklore and Evermore. I think those albums are probably the best lyrically. Something that I actually hope for with this album is I really hope there's no collabs on it. That might be an unpopular opinion, but I prefer Taylor with no collaborations on a track. And I feel like with this album, because it is said to be her most vulnerable thoughts at midnight, I feel like it would be more like true to self if it was just her on these these tracks. So that's one prediction that I hope comes true. But anyway, that is all the questions I'm going to answer today. If you have not already, please subscribe. Make sure you turn on the post notifications to get notified every time I upload. Also, a little reminder to follow me on all of my social media accounts. My Instagram and my TikTok are like my prized possession. If you want to follow those will be linked down below and on the screen. But thank you guys for watching and hanging out. But I will talk to you guys very soon.